Dear students, a very warm welcome to today's session. Dear students, this session is for class 11th General English, and in these lectures we target the 4 skills of the language. So our target is enrichment of the skills. In different EDUSAT lectures, we explain nuances of different skill like speaking skill, reading skill, writing skill, and today's session is for the listening skill. So we'll quickly discuss the outline of the exam to understand the importance of these skills, and then we will discuss why listening skill is important, followed by a listening test. I hope you are all ready. So let's get started. So dear students, this is the marks distribution for your annual exams. Total 100 marks, written paper of 80 marks, IA means internal assessment for 20 marks. Now these 20 marks have further been split into listening and speaking skill practical for 15 marks, pre-board 3 marks, book bank 1 mark, welcome life activities 1 mark. Let's talk about the practicals. Listening skill carries 9 marks. For the listening test, students will be given a practice sheet containing 10 questions. They will answer all the 10 questions based on an audio clip, and students will be assessed for any 9 correct answers. So dear students, today we are going to discuss this listening skill in detail. 6 marks are for the speaking skill. Students will be given a situation, a cue card, any picture, and they will be asked to speak a few sentences and will be assessed on correct sentence structure, pronunciation, and expression. This will be discussed in the lectures related to speaking skill. So let's move on, and this is the IELTS program being run by the Department of School Education Punjab. It is interactive English language training for students, and under this program we target the 4 skills of the language. So as I said earlier, enrichment of the 4 skills is our target for EDUSAT lectures. What is language? Language is a means of communication. Language is taught and assessed in terms of 4 skills. What are these 4 skills? Listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Out of these 4 skills, 2 are input and 2 are output skills. Now, which are the input skills? First comes listening skill, reading skill, speaking skill, and writing skill. Now listening skill and reading skill are the receptive skills, and speaking, writing, these are the productive skills. Now what do we mean by receptive skills and productive skill? As we saw in the earlier slide, in the receptive skills we receive the input. In the productive skills we give out the output. Without input, output is not possible. So that is the importance of listening skill, because if you do not listen to the language, you cannot speak the language. So LSRW, listening, speaking, reading, and writing. And listening is always at the first position, because this is the skill to which a child is exposed when the child is born. सब तो पहला बच्चा साउंड सुनता है. एक छोटा बच्चा जो जन्म लेंदा है उन्हें कोई लैंग्वेज नहीं आती. ਉਹ ਬੱਚਾ ਸਾਊਂਡ ਸੁਣਦਾ, ਉਹਦੇ ਲਈ ਲੈਂਗੁਏਜ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ, ਉਸਦੀ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਜੋ ਬੋਲ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕੀ ਹੈ, ਸਿਰਫ ਸਾਊਂਡਸ। ਹੌਲੀ ਹੌਲੀ ਬੱਚਾ ਕੀ ਕਰਦਾ, ਉਸ ਸਾਊਂਡ ਨੂੰ ਇਮੀਟੇਟ ਕਰਦਾ, ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਐਸੋਸੀਏਟ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਔਰ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਚੱਲ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਵਰਡ ਇਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਹੈ। ਸਲੋਲੀ ਐਂਡ ਗ੍ਰੈਜੂਅਲੀ, ਹੌਲੀ ਹੌਲੀ ਕਰਕੇ ਉਹ ਬੱਚਾ ਉਹ ਲੈਂਗੁਏਜ ਬੋਲਣੀ ਸਿੱਖ ਜਾਂਦਾ। ਯੂ ਆਲ ਸਪੀਕ in Punjabi. Why there is no problem in speaking in Punjabi? Because you listen to Punjabi all the time. At home, in school also, most of your subjects are taught in Punjabi. In the society, everywhere around you, you listen to the language. That's why you can speak your mother tongue. English is a foreign language. You will have to make an effort for that. How to make an effort? That we are going to discuss today. So, are you ready for listening? Importance of listening skill. Even God has made us like that. 2 ears and 1 mouth means listen more, speak less. Whereas we do the opposite. We speak more and listen less. So, in real life also, you should follow this advice. Suno zyada, bolo kat. In the listening skill, you listen to the language. When you read new words, knowledge of the word, pronunciation of the word, both of this will help you in speaking that word. So, listening and reading leads to speaking. And we can speak well only if we listen well. That is the importance of listening skill. It is a receptive skill. As I said earlier, in this we receive the input. From where do we receive the input? By listening to it. When you listen to English, what do you listen to? Not only the words. सिर्फ words नहीं सुनते तुसी. Words ਦੇ ਨਾਲ word ਦਾ sound, the rhythm of the sentence, intonation, stress of the language. This becomes clear when you listen to the language. And in the lectures related to speaking skills, you will be taught all these terms in detail. The more a student listens to the target language, here the target language is English. The more a student listens to English language, the more is he or she able to understand these nuances, ਬਾਰੀਕੀਆਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਉੱਪਰ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਗਈ ਹੈ. So, listening to English enables the learners to speak in English. And I know all of you want to speak very good English. So, dear students, that is the importance of the listening skill. Now, what is the difference between hearing and listening? Listening is with ears. Hearing is also with ears. Then what is the difference? Hearing happens, just happens. कान खुले हैं तो आवाज़ां अपने आप करना च पै रही हैं. But listening is very focused. You have to pay attention. तुहानू ध्यान देना पएगा. It is conscious effort. Hearing is just a mechanical process. तुसी सुन भी रहे हो, but your mind is somewhere else. It cannot help in listening. When you are listening, you have to be very attentive. Why I pointed out this difference? Because if you want to get good marks in listening test, if you want to really learn good English, you'll have to be very attentive, very focused while listening to the language. Even you have to be very, you have to watch also. When the speaker is speaking, look at the lips and try to make out the articulation, how the word is pronounced. And as discussed earlier, in your examination, you will have to appear in a listening skill test. For that, we'll do practice through EDUSAT as well as in your classes. Now, what are the things that we should keep in mind when we are appearing in listening test? कोई भी listening test देते हुए ਕਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਦਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਖਿਆਲ ਰੱਖਣਾ ਹੈ ਜਿਸ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਡੇ ਮਾਰਕਸ ਅੱਛੇ ਆ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਨ. When you are listening to an audio, try to focus on any important information. because there may be a question related to that, like any name of any place, any particular date is given, mobile number, address. If it is given, make a note of it. In your practice session, you don't get question papers. In the final exam, you will get a question paper. So during practice session, make a note on your rough copy. While listening, write answers on the question paper. It's a multitasking. So dear students, you have to do, why we said that listening involves focus? Because you have to do three things. Your skills are involved. You're listening to the audio, you read the questions on the screen or on the question paper, and then you have to write side by side. Audio ਦੇ ਖਤਮ ਹੋਣ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਆਨਸਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਲਿਖੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ, audio ਚੱਲਦੀ ਹੈ ਨਾਲ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਆਨਸਰ ਲਿਖਣੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੈ. So that is why your focus is very, very important. Pay attention to the instructions given in the question paper. ਆਪਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਇੱਕ question paper ਦੇਖਾਂਗੇ, ਉਹਦੇ 'ਚ ਆਪਾਂ ਦੇਖਾਂਗੇ ਕੁਝ instructions ਹੋਣਗੀਆਂ. These are the key words. It can be, for example, no more than 3 words and or a number. It can be 3 words, it can be 2, it can be 1. Whatever instructions is given, pay attention to it because words are counted. If it is written no more than 3 words and your answer is in 4 words, you have written an answer in 4 words, तो ਤੁਹਾਡਾ answer correct नहीं होएगा. So write within the given word limit. Listen to the instruction. ये instructions जो हैं ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ audio 'ਚ ਸੁਣਾਈ ਦੇਣਗੀਆਂ. It will say you have half a minute to check your answer. I'm giving an example. Supposing it says you have half a minute to read the questions or half a minute to check the answers. So you have to use that half minute for whatever you are told to do, not for talking to your partners. Don't waste your time. Reading questions before listening to the audio is very, very important because as it's written, you know what to listen for. ਇਹ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ hint ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹੈ, help ਕਰਦੇ ਹੈ ਕਿਹੜੀ information ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ focus ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ. Supposing you miss an answer, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ word ਸਮਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਇਆ, you couldn't write it down, or you were able to hear, listen to the word, but you were not able to write it because you don't know the spelling. There can be many reasons for it. Here the point is, if you have missed an answer, you have 2 options. एक ਤਾਂ ਹੈ कि रुक के ਉਹਨੂੰ ਸੋਚਣ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਓ. What will happen? Audio will keep moving. ਇੱਕ ਆਨਸਰ ਨੂੰ ਸੋਚਦੇ ਹੋਏ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਅਗਲੇ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਆਨਸਰਸ ਮਿਸ ਹੋ ਜਾਣੇ ਆ. So what to do? If you have missed an answer, the second option is ਉਹਨੂੰ ਛੱਡ ਦਿਓ, listen to the audio and do the next questions. When the audio stops, come back to it. Try to think, and sometimes from the context you can guess the answer. That is the next point. Don't leave blank spaces. Guess and write, as there is no negative marking. खाली नहीं छड्डो. From the context, sometimes you can judge कि शायद ये answer सी. So what? It's a guess. ठीक भी हो सकता है, नहीं भी हो सकता है. But don't leave blanks. So from all these points, again, this point we have concluded that we have to be very attentive, very focused, very alert. Then only we can perform well in a listening test. So are you ready now? Write down in your copy listening test 1. Write numbers 1 to 10. We are going to start a listening test. I will play an audio. You will listen to an audio and look at the screen, read the questions and write the answers in your copy. Have a look at the questions. Lesson Gender Bias. You will listen to an audio and answer the questions as you listen. Before you listen to the audio, please read questions 1 to 5. Now listen to the audio and answer the questions.
Section 1. It was long time ago. I was young and bright, bold and idealistic. I was in the final year of my master's course in computer science at the Indian Institute of Science, IISC, Bangalore, then known as the Tata Institute. Life was full of fun and joy. I did not know what helplessness or injustice meant. It was probably the April of 1974. Bangalore was getting warm and gulmohars were blooming at IISC campus. I was the only girl in my postgraduate department and was staying at the ladies' hostel. Other girls were pursuing research in different departments of science. I was looking forward to going abroad to complete a doctorate in computer science. I had been offered scholarship from universities in the US. I had not thought of taking up job in India. One day, while on the way to my hostel from our lecture hall complex, I saw an advertisement on the notice board. It was a standard job requirement notice from the famous automobile company Telco, now Tata Motors.
This is the end of section 1. Please check your answers. Section 2. You will listen to a conversation between Rishabh and Vivek. Before you listen to the conversation, please read questions 6 to 10. Now listen to the conversation and answer the questions.
Section 2. Last month in June, I went to Delhi.
That is nice. Did you go alone?
No, I was accompanied by my friend Manu.
What was the purpose of your visit?
I had never been to the capital of our country. Moreover, I was keen to see the historical monuments there.
Did you visit all these places?
Yes, most of them.
Isn't there a lot of pollution in Delhi?
Although there is a lot of air and noise pollution in Delhi, yet it is worth visiting.
For how many days did you stay there?
We stayed there for 4 days.
This is the end of the listening test. Now you have to check your answers. So dear students, you can check your answers. If there is any blank space, please fill it up quickly, then we can check the answers. I'll show you all the questions once again. If you have missed any, do it quickly. Question 1 and 2 on the screen. Please check 3, 4 and 5. This is from your chapter 1 only. Questions 6 to 10. Hope you all have done well. If you listened well, let's see the performance. Let's check the answers. The first answer is option C, a teacher. Second, option B, IISC, Bangalore. Third, true. Fourth, option D, 1974. 5, false. Section 2. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 related to section 5. So we can say 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So 6th answer is June, 7th is Manu, 8th monuments, 9th noise, and 10th answer is 4. Hope you have scored well. Give yourself 1 mark for 1 correct answer. So hope you have done well. Let's do one more listening test. This is your poem number 1 from your textbook. You will listen to the audio of the poem and you will have to fill in the blanks while listening to the audio. Quickly write down in your copies listening test 2 and give the numbering 1 to 10. This is the second test. So hope you are ready. Let's start. I heard 1,000 blended notes while in a grove I sat reclined. In that sweet mood when pleasant thoughts bring sad thoughts to the mind. To her fair works did nature link the human soul that through me ran, and much it grieved my heart to think what man has made of man. Through primrose tufts in that green bower, the periwinkle trade its wreaths, and it's my faith that every flower enjoys the air it breathes. The birds around me hopped and played. Their thoughts I cannot measure, but the least motion which they made, it seemed a thrill of pleasure. This is your poem 1 from your textbook. Hope you were able to write the words because you have already done this poem in your class. Let's check the answers. I heard 1,000 blended notes while in a grove. Here the word was grove. I sat reclined in that sweet mood when pleasant thoughts bring sad thoughts. Here the second answer was thoughts. Check your answers. To the mind. To her fair works did nature link. Third answer is fair. The human soul that through me ran, and much it grieved my heart. Fourth answer is heart. To think what man has made of man. Fifth answer is man. Through primrose tufts in that green bower, the periwinkle trailed its wreath. So sixth answer, bower. And it's my faith that every flower enjoys the air it breathes. Seventh answer, flower. Eighth answer, air. The birds around me hopped and played. Ninth answer is hopped. Their thoughts I cannot measure, but the least motion which they made, it seemed a thrill of pleasure. So the 10th answer is motion. So give yourself 1 mark for 1 correct answer and see what is your score out of 10. Get your copies checked by your teachers. So dear students, I hope you enjoyed both the tests. If you have not performed well, if you have performed well, congratulations. If you have not performed well, if you are not satisfied with your performance, here are the reasons. You have to find out your reason. Which reason is related to you? First, lack of exposure to listening in English. ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਸੁਣਨ ਦੀ ਆਦਤ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ, ਇਸ ਲਈ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਸੁਣਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪੂਰੀ ਸਮਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਂਦੀ। ਇਹ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਕਾਮਨ ਕਾਜ਼ ਹੈ। ਲੈਕ ਆਫ ਗੁੱਡ ਵੋਕੈਬਲਰੀ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੁਣ ਵੀ ਲਿਆ ਲੇਕਿਨ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਲਈ ਸਮਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਇਆ ਜਿਵੇਂ फॉर एग्जाम्पल एक वर्ड है बावर, अज आया सी बावर, BOWER. इफ यू आर नॉट अवेयर अबाउट दिस वर्ड, तुसी ये वर्ड का तुहानू पता ही नहीं है, तुहानू उसके स्पैलिंग्स नहीं पता, तुसी कभी सुनिया ही नहीं, तो तुसी ध्यान नाल सुन भी लिया, you will not be able to write. So that is why in the beginning I said listening will give you the sounds, the pronunciation, and reading will give you the knowledge of the word. दोनों ही ज़रूरी है. So build your vocabulary. Lack of interest, ध्यान ही नहीं है, you are not interested, your mind is somewhere else, that may be your problem. Interruptions, noise, कमरे च noise है, कमरे के बाहर noise है, शोर है, सुन नहीं पाए. Lack of complete attention, wandering minds, class ता बैठे हो, mind किते हो रहा है, you will not be able to focus. Anxiety, stress है बहुत ज़्यादा कि मेरा कोई आंसर गलत ना हो जाए, मिस ना हो जाए. Sometimes that anxiety also results in poor listening. Lack of practice, कदी इस टाइप दे टेस्ट की पहले प्रैक्टिस नहीं की, you will not be able to do well. And a negative attitude that it is very difficult, I cannot do it, or it is useless, इसदा कोई फ़ायदा नहीं है. Negative attitude is of many kinds. You're mentally you are not prepared to do this. So these are the problems. Try to find out which one is related to you. Now, how to improve? Solution की है ना problems दा. So when you are appearing in the test, चाहे वो EDUSAT lecture च होए, चाहे वो class च होए, चाहे वो final exam च होए, सब तो पहला point तो ये stop talking. गल्ला नहीं. Be silent. Not only from the lips, mentally also. ये नहीं है कि मुंह तो चुप हो लेकिन mind कुछ और चल रहा है. That is also not silent. So silence should be physical and mental. Relax, silence. Copy and pen should be in your hand and note down important points. Avoid or eliminate any kind of distraction. Distraction कई तरह दी हुंदी है. तुसी नाल दे स्टूडेंट नाल गल्लां कर रहे हो, ये भी distraction है. बाहरों आवाज़ आ रही है, तुहाडा ध्यान उधर है, ये भी distraction है. माइंड 'च कुछ सोच रहे हो, ये भी distraction है. अपनी distractions नू limit करो, focus करो during the test. Otherwise, generally, number one, let's start with a positive attitude कि yes, we can do it. English is not difficult. Keep this thing in mind. अपने mind च गल नू बिल्कुल अच्छी तरीके ना fit कर लो. English is not difficult. It is a skill. Skill एक कला हुंदी है और कला नू हासिल करन लई सानू प्रैक्टिस करनी पैंदी है. कला दे बारे च पढ़ के नहीं सिੱਖਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ. कला नू प्रैक्टिस. डांस सीखना है तो डांस दे नोट्स लर्न करके डांस नहीं आंदा. म्यूजिक सीखना है, म्यूजिक दे नोट्स पढ़ के नहीं आता. म्यूजिक ਲਈ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਪਏਗਾ? ਯੂ ਵਿਲ ਹੈਵ ਟੂ ਸਿੰਗ. ਡਾਂਸ ਸਿੱਖਣ ਲਈ ਕੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਪਏਗਾ? ਯੂ ਵਿਲ ਹੈਵ ਟੂ ਡਾਂਸ. ਇਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਨੂੰ ਸਿੱਖਣ ਲਈ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਸੁਣਨੀ ਔਰ ਬੋਲਣੀ ਪਏਗੀ, ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਇਟ ਇਜ਼ ਅ ਸਕਿੱਲ. ਟ੍ਰੇਨ ਯੋਰ ਈਅਰਸ ਬਾਈ ਲਿਸਨਿੰਗ ਟੂ ਨਿਊਜ਼ ਇਨ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼. ਆਪਣੇ ਕੰਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਸੁਣਨ ਦੀ ਆਦਤ ਪਾਓ. ਦਿਸ ਇਜ਼ the first listening lecture of this session. I am going bilingual. In the next lectures, it will be completely in English, so that your ears get attuned to what you listen. To listen to the audios, listen to news, even listen to English songs, listen to poems. Train your ears. ਹੁਣ vocabulary ਕਿੱਥੋਂ ਲੈਣੀ ਹੈ? ਆਪਣੀ ਬੁੱਕ ਤੋਂ ਤਾਂ ਲੈਣੀ ਹੀ ਹੈ. अपनी बुक नू पढ़ना. इस तो इलावा रीड न्यूज़पेपर्स, रीड स्टोरी बुक्स, एनी गुड मटीरियल इन इंग्लिश. यूज़ डिक्शनरी ऑल्सो. इफ़ यू डू नॉट get the meaning of the word, try to use dictionary. Be attentive and focused while listening to the audios. Last but not the least, practice, practice and practice. कोई एक न्यू वर्ड देखिया तुसी, उस वर्ड नू दी प्रोनाउंसिएशन सीखो. लिसन टू दैट वर्ड और अ सेंटेंस एंड देन रिपीट इट. जो सुनिया है उसनू बोलो. प्रैक्टिस. नाउ फ्रॉम वेयर टू डू द प्रैक्टिस ऑफ लिसनिंग स्किल्स? हियर इट इज. यू ऑल आर अवेयर ऑफ दिस ऐप, पंजाब एजुकेयर ऐप. ਇਹਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ इंग्लिश +1 ਜਦੋਂ ਖੋਲੋਗੇ ਤਾਂ ਉੱਪਰ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਹੈਡਿੰਗ ਮਿਲੇਗਾ ਲਿਸਨਿੰਗ ਆਡੀਓਜ਼ ਐਂਡ ਪ੍ਰੈਕਟਿਸ ਸ਼ੀਟਸ. ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕਲਿੱਕ ਕਰੋ ਇਹ ਸਕਰੀਨ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਜੋ ਦਿਖ ਰਿਹਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਆਏਗਾ ਸੈਕਸ਼ਨ A ਆਡੀਓਜ਼, ਸੈਕਸ਼ਨ B ਆਡੀਓਜ਼, ਸੈਕਸ਼ਨ C ਆਡੀਓਜ਼, ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਆਡੀਓਜ਼ ਅਪਲੋਡਡ ਹੈ। ਫਾਈਨਲ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮ ਵੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਆਡੀਓਜ਼ ਚੋਂ ਹੀ ਆਏਗਾ। ਨੀਚੇ ਦੇਖ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਪ੍ਰੈਕਟਿਸ ਸ਼ੀਟਸ। ਪ੍ਰੈਕਟਿਸ ਸ਼ੀਟ ਓਪਨ ਕਰੋ, ਆਡੀਓਜ਼ प्ले करो, आंसर कॉपी ते लिखो। बहुत मुश्किल नहीं है। Don't depend only on EDUSAT lectures. Do your practice in the class as well as at home. Question paper will be from these practice sheets and these audios only. So now I am giving you a homework. Today we did a listening test from section 1, section A lesson 1 and section B poem 1. Practice the listening audio section A lesson 2 and section B poem 2. This is your homework. Do it and get it checked by your teachers. Maintain a copy for EDUSAT lectures and write everything on that. So dear students, next is listen to your teachers, news readers, listen to yourself. Now this is something new. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਸੁਣਿਆ, ਚਾਹੇ ਉਹ ਕਨਵਰਸੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ, ਪੋਇਮ ਹੈ, ਸੌਂਗ ਹੈ, stand in front of the mirror and repeat it. Then record your voice. Listen to it. You will love listening to your voice. Even I do it now. I record myself and then I listen to it and I always find mistakes in what I say. So find out your own mistakes. Listening to yourself will also help in improving your listening skill as well as your speaking skills. So I hope you have noted down all the important points. I hope you were able to understand what was taught today and you will apply all the advice given to you during this lecture, because it is going to help you not only for in the exams but in the real life also, because the target language is English and we all want to speak good English and write good English. So dear students, keep listening to English, keep speaking in English and work on the enrichment of all the 4 skills of English. Thank you so much.